Hello, travelers, welcome. Ever dreamed of the perfect vacation? Sun shining just right, streets calm, not crowded, every photo looks like a postcard. We all imagine trips like this, but reality is often different. Maybe you've hit unexpected rain or found your dream spot packed with people. I've been there. Timing is tricky. That's why I'm sharing my top travel timing tips. In this guide, we'll unlock the secrets of perfect timing. Discover the best times to visit anywhere in the world. Think of this as your cheat sheet for planning. Europe's charm, Mediterranean sun, northern fjords, vibrant Asia, and how to avoid monsoon season. Australia, South America, each with its own rhythm. Every continent has its own clock. We'll learn to read it. But it's not just about weather. A great trip is more than sunshine. It's about value and truly enjoying your destination. Peak or shoulder season, a small date change can mean big savings. Imagine a landmark to yourself or a luxury room for less. With a little planning, these wins are possible. Before we start, quick question. What's your favorite travel season? Spring, summer, autumn, or winter? Tell us in the comments. Sharing makes this community special. Let's begin a journey that will change how you plan travel forever. Planning a trip can sometimes feel like a high-stakes guessing game. You book your flights months in advance, hoping you've chosen the right week. You cross your fingers that you'll avoid major holidays. You hope to avoid unforeseen weather events, and you want to dodge massive crowds. Those things can turn a relaxing getaway into a stressful experience. We've all felt that little bit of anxiety. Will it be too hot? Will everything be closed? Am I paying way too much for this flight? But it doesn't have to be that way. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to travel. This guide gives you that power. We'll break it down, continent by continent, region by region. We'll cover weather patterns like hurricane season affecting the Caribbean and parts of the United States. We'll explain India's monsoon season and how to plan around it. Understanding these events is the first step to smarter travel. It's about safety and making the most of every day. Beyond weather, we'll map tourist seasons. Peak months, prices soar. Peak months, crowds thicken. More importantly, shoulder seasons. Spring, beautiful weather, fewer people. Autumn, same sweet spot. Best deals on flights and accommodations often pop up then. You can connect more deeply with a place, chat with locals, and feel like an explorer, not a tourist. It's my favorite way to travel. Here's a little teaser to keep you watching. Watch to the very end. I've saved my best tip for last. A secret hack about booking flights that has saved me so much money. A simple trick airlines don't advertise, but it can change your travel budget. Stay with me through Europe, Asia, and beyond. You won't want to miss it. Let's get started on smarter, better travel. Let's begin our journey in the sun-drenched lands of southern Europe. Think of Italy, think of Spain, think of Greece, think of Portugal. These are destinations that conjure images of sparkling blue waters, ancient ruins, basking in golden light, long, lazy meals on a seaside terrace. The peak tourist season here runs from June through August. This is when the weather is hottest, the sun is most reliable, and the days are wonderfully long. However, this is also when you will find the largest crowds and the highest prices for flights and hotels. The heat, especially in July and August, can be incredibly intense, sometimes making daytime sightseeing a real challenge. Imagine strolling through the ancient Roman Forum or exploring the Acropolis in Athens. In the peak of summer, you'll be sharing that experience with thousands of other visitors, all while the sun beats down relentlessly. Popular beaches along the Amalfi Coast, the islands of Greece can be so packed that it's hard to find a spot to lay your towel. While the vibrant, bustling atmosphere can be exciting for some, it can feel overwhelming for others. If you choose to travel during these months, be sure to book everything far in advance, stay hydrated, and plan your outdoor activities for the cooler morning or evening hours. For many travelers, the summer heat and crowds are a significant drawback. Major cities like Rome, Barcelona, Lisbon, you might find yourself spending more time seeking out air-conditioned cafes than truly immersing yourself in the local culture. The cost factor is also a major consideration. A hotel room with a sea view that might be affordable in May could cost double or even triple the price in August. The same goes for flights, which skyrocket as schools let out and families head off on their summer holidays. So, while summer offers guaranteed sunshine, it comes with a trade-off. It's the classic high season experience. You get the weather you dream of, but you pay for it in both money and personal space. If your schedule only allows for a summer trip, don't worry, you can still have an amazing time. Just be prepared, plan ahead, book your tickets for major attractions online to skip the long lines, Explore some lesser-known towns and villages to escape the biggest crowds. But if you have flexibility, there are even better times to experience the magic of the Mediterranean. Now let's travel north. We're heading to the captivating lands of Scandinavia, the United Kingdom, and Ireland. Scandinavia, United Kingdom, Ireland. The travel equation here is quite different from the south. In countries like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and the UK, summer is truly the golden time to visit. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, UK. From late June to mid-August, you'll experience the famous long days of the northern latitudes. In some parts of Scandinavia, you can even witness the magical midnight sun. This extended daylight gives you more time for exploring, hiking in the Norwegian fjords, discovering the historic streets of Edinburgh. Unlike the oppressive heat of the south, summer in northern Europe is generally very pleasant. Temperatures are mild and comfortable, perfect for outdoor activities. This is the ideal time to take a ferry through the Stockholm archipelago, cycle through the Danish countryside, or explore the dramatic coastlines of Ireland. The natural landscapes are at their most green and vibrant, and the cities come alive with festivals, outdoor markets, and a joyful energy. While this is also the peak tourist season, the crowds tend to be more spread out than in the concentrated hotspots of the Mediterranean. However, just like in the south, this peak season comes with higher prices. Flights into major hubs are at their most expensive during the summer months: London, Copenhagen, Dublin. Accommodations, especially in popular scenic areas like the Scottish Highlands or along Norway's coast, can be booked solid many months in advance. Scottish Highlands, Norway's coast. It is absolutely essential to plan ahead if you want to travel to Northern Europe in the summer. Don't expect to find last-minute deals on hotels or car rentals in the most sought-after destinations. The secret is to book early to lock in better prices and ensure you get your first choice of lodging. One more thing to remember about Northern European summers is that the weather can be unpredictable. While you can generally expect mild and pleasant conditions, you should always be prepared for a bit of rain and some cooler days. Packing in layers is key. A waterproof jacket, a warm sweater, and comfortable walking shoes are non-negotiable items for any trip to this region, even in July. This variability is part of the charm, but it's always better to be prepared so that a sudden shower doesn't dampen your adventurous spirit. Summer offers the best access and weather, but requires the most planning. So we've seen that summer has its pros and cons for both the north and the south. But now I want to let you in on the real secret to traveling in Europe, the shoulder seasons. These are the periods just before and after the peak summer rush: April, May, September, October. For me and for many other savvy travelers, this is hands down the best time to visit most of the continent. The weather is often fantastic, the crowds have thinned out, prices for flights and hotels drop significantly. Let's think about Southern Europe in the spring. In May, Tuscany is bursting with wildflowers. Greece is warm enough for swimming. Spanish cities are alive with energy but not yet uncomfortably hot. You get to experience these places as they wake up for the season. In the autumn, the rewards are just as great. September in Portugal feels like an extension of summer, with fewer people on the beaches. Grape harvest in Italy, grape harvest in France. The autumn light casts a magical glow on everything. The same logic applies to Northern Europe. September in the UK. September in Ireland, the summer crowds have gone home. The weather can still be surprisingly mild and sunny. Autumn colors in the Scottish Highlands, autumn colors in the forests of Sweden. In spring, you can see the famous tulips of the Netherlands in full bloom in April and in May. By traveling in the shoulder season, you get a more authentic experience. You have more space to breathe. You can often have more meaningful interactions with the locals. The financial benefits are impossible to ignore. A flight to Paris that might cost $1,000 in July could be half that price in October. That beautiful hotel in Rome you were admiring could suddenly be within your budget. This is the essence of smart travel. By shifting your dates by just a few weeks, you can save a significant amount of money, or upgrade your experience for the same price. You can afford that nicer hotel, that special dinner, that extra tour. The shoulder season is the ultimate travel hack for Europe, offering good weather, fewer crowds, and better value. Of course, we can't forget about winter. Traveling to Europe between November and March is a completely different experience, and it's not for everyone. But for the right kind of traveler, it can be absolutely magical and incredibly budget-friendly. This is the low season for most of the continent, with the exception of ski resorts in the Alps and a few other winter-specific destinations. Flights and hotels are at their absolute cheapest. If you are on a tight budget, this is your time to shine. You can explore world-class cities for a fraction of what it would cost in the summer. Imagine wandering the streets of Prague, Budapest, dusted with snow and the scent of mulled wine in the air. Europe's famous Christmas markets, running late November through December, are a major draw. Vienna, Munich, Strasbourg transform into winter wonderlands with twinkling lights and festive stalls. This is a chance to experience a deeply cherished European tradition. Enjoy museums and indoor attractions like the Louvre in Paris, the Uffizi Gallery in Florence with far fewer people. However, be prepared for the weather. It will be cold, damp, and gray in many places. Days are very short, with sunsets as early as 4 p.m. in northern cities. Less time for outdoor sightseeing, more time for indoor activities. Southern Europe is milder but can be rainy. Greek islands, Italy's coast, many tourist businesses closed for the season. Not for beach holidays, great for city breaks or cultural deep dives. So, is a winter trip to Europe right for you? If you dislike crowds, love a good bargain, and enjoy cozy, festive atmospheres, then absolutely. See Europe's grand cities in a more intimate, local way. Share cafes with residents, not just tourists. Pack warm clothes, waterproof shoes, and a positive attitude. Appreciate architecture, art, and culture without high-season distractions. It's a trade-off many travelers find more than worthwhile. Now let's jet off to the incredibly diverse and vibrant continent of Asia. It's a vast landmass with so many different climates, you can't just talk about Asia as one destination. We'll break it down by region, starting with Southeast Asia. Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, the Philippines. Stunning beaches, lush jungles, delicious food, friendly people. The most important thing to understand here is the monsoon. Weather is dominated by wet and dry seasons. They vary between countries and even within a single country. For much of mainland Southeast Asia, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, best time is the dry season, November to about March or April. Humidity drops, rainfall is minimal, temperatures more comfortable, perfect for temples, Angkor Wat in Cambodia, or island hopping in Thailand's Andaman Sea. Skies clear and blue, great photos and beach lounging, but it's peak tourist season. Expect crowds and higher prices. Wet season runs May to October, frequent heavy downpours. Now, this doesn't always mean it rains all day, every day. Often you'll get a powerful but short-lived storm in the afternoon with sunshine before and after. Traveling during this green season has its perks. Lush landscapes, waterfalls at their most spectacular, far fewer tourists, more peaceful and authentic experiences, incredible deals on flights, and luxury hotels. However, there are some important exceptions and regional variations to keep in mind. For example, in Thailand, the Gulf Coast islands like Koh Samui, heaviest rains often falling between October and December. They can be sunny when the other side is wet. Malaysia, Indonesia. Do your research for the specific island or region you want to visit. Understand local monsoon patterns. That's the secret to unlocking the best of Southeast Asia. Moving north, we arrive in East Asia, a region of incredible contrast, futuristic megacities, serene ancient temples, Japan, China, South Korea. You'll find 4 distinct seasons. This gives you a wonderful array of choices. Unlike Southeast Asia, it's less about avoiding rain and more about choosing your favorite season. Spring and autumn are widely considered the most pleasant times to visit. Mild temperatures, manageable crowds, and absolutely stunning natural beauty. Spring, from late March to May, is a magical time in East Asia. Japan's world-famous cherry blossoms, or sakura, come into full bloom, blanketing the country in delicate shades of pink and white. It's a breathtaking sight, but be warned, this is also one of the most popular and expensive times to visit Japan. In South Korea, you'll also find beautiful spring blossoms, perfect for wandering through Seoul's palaces. In China, you'll find spring blossoms too, perfect for exploring the Great Wall. The air is fresh, the landscapes are coming to life, and there's a palpable sense of celebration and renewal. Autumn, from September to November, is my personal favorite time to be in East Asia. The sweltering humidity of summer has faded away, leaving behind crisp, clear days and comfortable temperatures. This season is famous for its spectacular fall foliage. Kyoto in Japan, Seoraksan National Park in South Korea, maple leaves erupting in fiery hues, ginkgo leaves turning gold. It's a photographer's dream. The weather is generally stable and dry, making it ideal for hiking and outdoor sightseeing. Much like spring, it's a popular time, so it's wise to book ahead, but it feels slightly less hectic than the peak cherry blossom season. Summer from June to August can be challenging. It gets very hot and humid across the entire region, often accompanied by a rainy season known as Suyu in Japan. Cities can feel oppressive and sightseeing can be a sweaty affair. This is also peak season for domestic travel. You'll be sharing attractions with local families on holiday. Winter from December to February is cold, especially in the north of China and in South Korea. However, it offers its own unique charm. You can see snow-covered temples, enjoy world-class skiing in Japan's northern Alps, or experience the magical Harbin Ice Festival in China. It's also the cheapest time to visit the cities. Let's now turn our attention to the vast and complex region of South Asia, dominated by the subcontinent of India and the towering peaks of the Himalayas in Nepal and Bhutan. This is a land of incredible extremes in geography, culture, and of course climate. Planning a trip here requires careful consideration of altitude and the powerful monsoon that sweeps across the land. Getting the timing right is crucial for your comfort and your safety, especially if you plan on trekking. The region's size means there's almost always a good place to visit. You just need to know where and when to look. For the classic cultural journey through India's Golden Triangle, Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, the best time to visit is during the winter months from October to March. During this period, the weather is dry, sunny, and pleasantly warm, perfect for exploring forts, palaces, and bustling markets. The oppressive heat of the pre-monsoon season has not yet arrived, and the post-monsoon haze has cleared. This is undoubtedly the most comfortable time for sightseeing. It is therefore the peak tourist season. Expect larger crowds at iconic sites like the Taj Mahal and higher prices for hotels and guides. The Indian monsoon season is a major weather event you must plan around. It typically arrives in the south in late May or early June, then gradually works its way north, lasting until September. This period brings torrential downpours, high humidity, and potential for flooding. Most people avoid traveling to the plains during this time. The pre-monsoon months of April and May are also challenging. Temperatures can soar, often exceeding 40 degrees Celsius, making daytime activities extremely difficult and even dangerous for some travelers. For those dreaming of trekking in the Himalayas of Nepal or Bhutan, the timing is even more critical. There are two main trekking windows with the best weather and clearest mountain views. The first is in the autumn, from October to November, after the monsoon has passed and washed the dust from the air. The second window is in the spring, from March to April, before the summer monsoon arrives. During these periods, the skies are generally clear and temperatures in the mountains are manageable. Trekking during the winter is possible on some lower altitude trails, but it is extremely cold. The summer monsoon brings rain, leeches, and obscured views. Finally, let's explore the rugged and historic lands of Central Asia and the Middle East: Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Jordan, Oman. The climate here is largely one of extremes: scorching hot summers, bitterly cold winters. Therefore, the shoulder seasons of spring and autumn are the undisputed champions for travel. Timing your visit to these periods is essential for comfortably exploring ancient cities and natural wonders. Spring, from April to early June, is a fantastic time to journey through this region. In Central Asia, the deserts briefly bloom with wildflowers. The foothills of the mountains are lush and green. The weather is warm and sunny, but not yet overwhelmingly hot, perfect for wandering through tiled mosques and mausoleums. Samarkand, Bukhara. In the Middle East, destinations like Jordan are also at their best. Explore the ancient city of Petra. Camp under the stars in the Wadi Rum Desert. This season offers a beautiful, gentler side of these often harsh landscapes. Similarly, autumn, from September to November, offers another perfect window for travel. The intense heat of the summer has subsided, replaced by clear blue skies and pleasantly warm days. This is a wonderful time for hiking in the mountains of Kyrgyzstan, exploring the vibrant markets along the ancient Silk Road. In the Middle East, the weather is once again ideal for outdoor adventures. The light during this season is often softer and more golden, fantastic for photography. As with spring, you can spend entire days outside without feeling drained by the heat. Conversely, summer and winter present significant challenges. Summer from late June to August sees temperatures regularly above 40 degrees Celsius. This extreme heat makes daytime sightseeing not only uncomfortable but potentially hazardous. Many locals stay indoors during the hottest part of the day, and you would be wise to do the same. Winter, from December to February, can be brutally cold, especially in landlocked, high-altitude countries of Central Asia. Heavy snow can block mountain passes and make travel difficult. While the Middle East has milder winters, it can still be cold and rainy, especially in the evenings. Let's venture down under to the vast continent of Australia, a land of incredible diversity. From bustling coastal cities to the rugged outback, Australia is in the southern hemisphere. Seasons are reversed compared to Europe and North America, so summer runs from December to February, and winter is from June to August. The sheer size of the country means many different climate zones, so honestly, the best time to visit depends on where you want to go. For popular southern cities like Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, for those southern cities, the shoulder seasons, spring and autumn, offer the most pleasant experience. Spring, from September to November, is truly beautiful. Warm, sunny days without the intense summer heat. Cities are abuzz with life. Flowers are in full bloom in the botanical gardens. It's ideal for coastal walks, like the famous Bondi to Coogee route. Spring also sees fewer domestic holiday crowds, meaning better prices and more availability. It's perfect for wine tasting in the Barossa Valley or exploring Melbourne's vibrant laneway culture without breaking a sweat. Autumn, from March to May, offers similar advantages. The summer heat has subsided, leaving clear, mild days and cooler evenings. Regions like the Yarra Valley light up with orange and red vineyards. The ocean is often still warm enough for swimming along the New South Wales coast, but the summer crowds have thinned out considerably. That makes it a great time to find deals on flights and hotels, especially after the Easter period. Conversely, summer, December to February, is the peak holiday season in Australia. It's the classic time for a beach holiday with long sunny days. But there are drawbacks. The heat can be extreme, especially in cities. There's also a higher risk of bushfires in many areas. Schools are on their long summer break, so coastal towns get packed. Prices for things from car rentals to ice cream are at their highest. You'll often need to book accommodations many months in advance. Winter, from June to August, is mild in Sydney, but can be quite cool and rainy in Melbourne and Tasmania. That can make winter less ideal for many outdoor activities. Now let's shift our focus to the northern, more tropical parts of Australia and its iconic desert heartland, the Red Centre. The travel rules we established for the south are completely reversed here. The climate in places like Cairns, the Great Barrier Reef, Darwin, the Kimberley region, is defined by a distinct wet season and dry season. Trying to visit during the wrong time of year can seriously impact your trip, turning a dream holiday into a washout. The best time to explore this magnificent part of the country is during the dry season, which conveniently aligns with the southern Australian winter, running from about May to October. During these dry season months, you can expect clear blue skies, plenty of sunshine, and comfortably warm temperatures with low humidity. This is the absolute ideal time for snorkeling or diving on the Great Barrier Reef. Water visibility is at its peak. Perfect time for exploring Kakadu National Park, driving the famous Gibb River Road in the Kimberley. The risk of cyclones is virtually zero, and all roads and attractions are typically open. This is the peak tourist season for the north. You'll share it with many travelers and prices will be higher. In complete contrast, the wet season from November to April brings a dramatic change. Very high humidity, scorching temperatures, and heavy, frequent monsoonal downpours. It's also the season for tropical cyclones, causing floods and travel disruptions. Many roads in national parks like Kakadu become impassable. Some tours and attractions may close entirely. High humidity can be draining. The risk of marine stingers increases, making swimming unsafe without a protective suit. Most travelers choose to avoid this time of year. The Red Centre, home to Uluru and Katachuta, follows a similar pattern but with desert extremes. The best time to visit is also from May to October. Daytime temps are pleasant for hiking and exploring. Be prepared for very cold nights, often dropping close to freezing. Visiting in the summer from December to February is strongly discouraged. The heat is dangerously intense, often soaring well above 40 degrees, 104 degrees. Many walking trails around Uluru are closed during the hottest parts of the day, severely limiting activities. Just a short flight across the Tasman Sea lies New Zealand, a country of jaw-dropping natural beauty. Majestic mountains, glaciers, pristine beaches, geothermal wonders. Like Australia, it's in the southern hemisphere, so its seasons are the opposite of the northern half of the world. Also, like southern Australia, New Zealand is fantastic in the shoulder seasons. Spring, autumn, pleasant weather, fewer crowds, more reasonable prices. Immerse yourself in epic landscapes, North Island, South Island. The summer months from December to February are the most popular time to visit New Zealand. This is when the weather is at its warmest and most settled, with long daylight hours, hiking, kayaking, and all manner of outdoor adventures. This is peak season in every sense of the word. Queenstown, Milford Sound, Abel Tasman National Park. You must book accommodations, rental cars, and spots on famous treks like the Milford Track many months in advance. While the weather is beautiful, the crowds and high costs can detract from the sense of peaceful wilderness that many visitors are seeking. This is why the shoulder seasons are so magical. Autumn from March to May is a spectacular time, especially on the South Island. Central Otago becomes a canvas of brilliant gold and red foliage, and the weather is often still stable and mild. The summer crowds have dissipated, making it easier to find a sense of solitude on the hiking trails. Spring from September to November is a time of renewal. You'll see waterfalls roaring with melted snow, baby lambs frolicking in the fields, and beautiful wildflowers blooming in alpine meadows. The weather can be more unpredictable in spring, but packing layers will prepare you for any condition. Winter in New Zealand, from June to August, is a paradise for skiers and snowboarders. Queenstown and Wanaka on the South Island transform into bustling winter sports hubs with world-class ski fields and a vibrant après-ski scene. For non-skiers, however, winter can be challenging. It's cold and many hiking trails, especially at higher altitudes, can be inaccessible due to snow and ice. While you can find great deals on travel to cities and coastal areas, your outdoor activity options will be more limited. Ultimately, for the classic all-around New Zealand adventure, the shoulder seasons of spring and autumn offer the undisputed sweet spot for the perfect trip. Let's journey to the vibrant, incredibly diverse continent of South America. This is a land of towering mountains, dense rainforests, ancient ruins, passionate cultures. Just like Asia, South America is too vast to treat as a single destination. The best time to visit depends entirely on where you want to go. A trip to the high-altitude Andes of Peru, an adventure in the Amazon rainforest, a visit to the glaciers of Patagonia. The continent's position across the equator means you can find almost any climate you can imagine. Understanding these regional differences is the key to planning a spectacular South American adventure. Let's start with the Andean countries, Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia. These destinations are famous for incredible historical sites like Machu Picchu and stunning natural landscapes. The weather here is generally defined by a dry season and a wet season, not the four seasons you might be used to. The dry season, approximately April to October, is overwhelmingly the best time to visit. During these months, you can expect clear, sunny days. Perfect for trekking the Inca Trail, perfect for taking photos of breathtaking mountain scenery. This is the peak tourist season. Landmarks will be busy, but the reliable weather makes it worthwhile. Visiting the Andes during the wet season from November to March presents significant challenges. You will find far fewer crowds and lower prices, but be prepared for frequent heavy rainfall. Clouds can obscure the spectacular views you travel to see. Trails can become muddy and treacherous. The classic Inca Trail to Machu Picchu closes every February for maintenance due to rain. You can still reach Machu Picchu by train, but persistent precipitation and mist can dampen the experience and hide the peaks. For those dreaming of exploring the Amazon rainforest, it covers parts of Brazil, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia. The Amazon experiences high heat, humidity, and heavy rainfall year-round. There is still a drier season and a wetter season. The drier season, roughly June to November, sees less rainfall. Jungle trails are more accessible for hiking, and there are fewer mosquitoes. The wetter season, December to May, sees river levels rise dramatically. Hiking is limited then, but it's a fantastic time to explore the flooded forest by boat. You get closer to the jungle canopy and to the wildlife that lives there. Now let's head to the southern part of the continent, to the powerhouse nations of Brazil and Argentina. Brazil, Argentina. These countries are known for their vibrant cities, passionate tango rhythms, samba rhythms, stunning natural wonders like Iguazu Falls, and the vast plains of Patagonia. Because they are so large, the best time to visit can vary greatly from north to south. For coastal cities like Rio de Janeiro, the weather is pleasant for most of the year, but December to March is the peak of summer. It is very hot and humid, but this is also when the city is at its most alive, culminating in the world-famous Carnival in February or March. Carnival in Rio, Carnival in Salvador. It's an unforgettable party, but be prepared for massive crowds and sky-high prices. You'll need to book everything many months in advance. If you prefer a more relaxed beach holiday, April, May, September, October. The weather is still warm and sunny, but the crowds have thinned out and prices are much more reasonable. Copacabana with more space to yourself, Ipanema with more space to yourself. In Argentina, the seasons are very distinct. Buenos Aires is at its best during spring from September to November and autumn from March to May. During these months, the weather is mild and perfect for strolling through elegant neighborhoods, sitting at sidewalk cafes, and enjoying the jacaranda trees bursting with purple blooms in the spring. A couple dancing tango in the colorful La Boca neighborhood, with vibrant buildings as a backdrop. Summer, from December to February, can be very hot and humid in the city. Many locals leave for their holidays, so it can feel a bit quieter. Winter, from June to August, is cool and can be gray, but it's a great time to enjoy indoor activities like tango shows, museums, the far south of the continent in the region of Patagonia, shared by Argentina and Chile. The best time for hiking and exploring Torres del Paine, and Los Glaciares National Park, is during the Southern Hemisphere summer from December to February. The weather is at its mildest and the days are very long, however, be prepared for notoriously strong winds at any time of year. Outside of this short summer window from May to September, winter blankets the region in snow and ice. Many hotels, roads, and attractions close down completely, making travel very difficult. As we have seen in other parts of the world, the shoulder seasons often represent the sweet spot for travel. South America is no exception. By carefully timing your visit for the months just before or after the peak season, you can often find the perfect blend of good weather, smaller crowds, and much better prices. This strategy works particularly well in many of the continent's most popular destinations. It allows you to have a more relaxed and authentic experience, without the stress and expense that can come with traveling during the busiest times of the year. This is the real secret for savvy travelers looking to make the most of their South American journey. Consider visiting Peru in April-May. The rainy season has just ended. Landscapes are incredibly green and lush, but the clear, sunny days of the dry season have begun. Best of all, the peak season crowds have not yet arrived. You can experience Machu Picchu with more breathing room and find better deals on hotels in Cusco. The same logic applies in September-October. The main rush of tourists has started to fade, but the weather remains excellent for trekking and sightseeing. These months provide a fantastic opportunity to see the Andes at their best, without having to jostle for position at every viewpoint. This shoulder season advantage also applies to cities like Buenos Aires, Santiago. Visiting in March-April means you can enjoy the pleasant autumn weather, perfect for exploring on foot. The summer heat has dissipated and the cities feel vibrant and full of local life. In spring, September, October, November, you get to see these cities bursting with color as flowers bloom in the parks. Flights and hotels are generally more affordable than in the peak summer months, freeing up your budget for enjoying the fantastic food, wine, culture that these South American capitals have to offer. It's a much more comfortable and enjoyable urban experience. Even in Patagonia, a region with a very defined peak season, the edges of the shoulder season can be rewarding. Traveling in November-March can still offer decent weather for trekking, but with significantly fewer people on the trails. You might experience more variable weather, but the trade-off is a greater sense of solitude in one of the world's most spectacular wilderness areas. By being flexible and aiming for these transitional months, you unlock a smarter way to see South America. You get to enjoy the highlights while saving money, avoiding the biggest crowds, which is the ultimate goal for any traveler. Let's bring our journey closer to home for many, the United States and the nearby Caribbean. The USA is a massive country much like Australia or China, spanning multiple time zones and a huge variety of climates. From the snowy peaks of the Rocky Mountains to the sun-drenched beaches of California, the best time to visit depends entirely on where you want to go and what you want to do. For many parts of the country, especially the Northeast, the Midwest, and the Pacific Northwest, the four seasons are very distinct. Spring once again emerges as a hero. Autumn once again emerges as a hero, offering mild weather and beautiful scenery without the extremes of summer or winter. In the spring, from April to June, much of the country comes alive with color and energy. This is a wonderful time to visit Washington, D.C. for the famous Cherry Blossom Festival, though be prepared for crowds. It's also a perfect time for a road trip through New England as the countryside turns a vibrant green. Explore Chicago, explore New York. The weather is generally pleasant, not too hot and not too cold, making it ideal for walking and sightseeing. You get to experience the optimism of the season, with flowers blooming and outdoor cafes reopening for business. Autumn from September to November is another spectacular season across much of the United States. It's particularly famous in New England, where people travel from all over the world to see the brilliant fall foliage. The air is crisp, the humidity of summer is gone, and the landscapes are painted in stunning shades of red, orange, and gold. This is a fantastic time for hiking in national parks, visiting apple orchards, and enjoying cozy seasonal activities. In many cities, the cultural season is in full swing with new theater shows and museum exhibits. Much like spring, it's a time of comfortable temperatures and beautiful photogenic light. Summer, from June to August, is peak travel season for most of the country. Families are on vacation and popular destinations are at their busiest and most expensive. While it's a great time for beach holidays and visiting national parks, you have to be prepared for heat, humidity, and crowds. Winter, from December to February, can be bitterly cold and snowy in the northern half of the country, limiting outdoor activities. However, it's the prime season for ski resorts in Colorado and ski resorts in Utah, and can be a magical festive time for a city break in places like New York, especially around the holidays. Now let's focus on a very popular region for travelers, the American South, Florida, Louisiana, Texas. This part of the country operates on a different climate clock where the primary concern isn't snow, intense heat, humidity, and the significant risk of hurricanes. Understanding the timing of hurricane season is the single most important piece of information for planning a trip. Officially, the Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th each year. The peak typically occurs from mid-August through mid-October. During these months, the risk is at its highest. A storm can bring torrential rain, high winds, flooding, which can lead to flight cancellations, evacuations, resort closures. The threat is real and can cause a lot of stress and uncertainty. Many travelers choose to avoid this period altogether, especially if you need reliable beach weather, like a beach holiday in Florida. So when is the best time to visit? Spring, March to May, is ideal for Florida and much of the South. Plenty of sunshine, warm temperatures, lower humidity than in the summer. Perfect for visiting theme parks in Orlando, exploring the historic streets of New Orleans, relaxing on the beaches of the Gulf Coast. But watch spring break in March and early April. Beaches get flooded with college students, big crowds, and inflated prices. If you want quiet, avoid it. Late October through February is also wonderful. Mild weather, sunny days, dry conditions, a paradise for snowbirds escaping the northern winter. Great for golfing, fishing, boating without summer heat. Might be too cool for swimming in some northern parts, but ideal for exploring cities and natural attractions. This period is a fantastic escape. Just book ahead for Christmas and New Year's. Just south and east of Florida lie the beautiful islands of the Caribbean. This is the stuff of dreams. White sand beaches, crystal clear turquoise water, a laid-back island vibe. The good news is that the Caribbean enjoys warm tropical weather all year round, so there's never really a cold time to visit. However, just like in Florida, the weather is divided into a dry season and a wet season, with the wet season overlapping with the Atlantic hurricane season. Getting the timing right is key to ensuring your dream getaway doesn't get washed out by an unexpected tropical storm. The region's weather patterns are the most important factor to consider. The dry season, which generally runs from December to May, is considered the best time to visit most of the Caribbean islands. During these months, you can expect the most sunshine, the least amount of rain, lower humidity. The weather is simply glorious and perfect for all the activities you're dreaming of, from sailing, snorkeling, to simply relaxing in a hammock. This is, of course, the peak tourist season. Prices for flights and all-inclusive resorts are at their highest, especially during the Christmas holidays, New Year's holidays, Easter holidays. You will need to book well in advance to secure a spot in your preferred resort. The wet or rainy season coincides with the hurricane season from June to November. Now, this doesn't mean it rains all day every day. Often you will experience short, intense afternoon showers followed by a return to sunshine. The early summer months of June and July can actually be a great time to visit, as the hurricane risk is still relatively low, but prices have dropped significantly from their winter peak. This is part of the shoulder season, where you can find some fantastic deals. The islands are also less crowded, giving you a more peaceful and relaxed experience on the beaches and at the resorts. However, as you move into August, September, and October, the risk of hurricanes increases substantially. This is the heart of the storm season, and many travelers choose to avoid this period. Some hotels and restaurants may even close for a month or two for annual maintenance and to wait out the highest risk period. If you do choose to travel during this time, it is absolutely essential to purchase travel insurance that covers weather-related cancellations. One exception to this rule is the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, which are located in the southern Caribbean outside of the main hurricane belt, making them a safer bet for a late summer or autumn trip. Beyond just the weather, a huge part of planning is understanding crowd patterns. Peak holiday periods equal long lines, crowded attractions, sold-out hotels. One of the biggest events, spring break. March, early April, Florida, Mexico, Caribbean get inundated. For a quieter family trip, plan for late April, May, after the party crowds. Prices are more reasonable. Summer, Memorial Day to Labor Day, ease peak family travel. Big crowds at theme parks, Disney World, famous national parks, Yellowstone, Zion, Grand Canyon. If traveling in summer, visit early morning or late afternoon. In-park lodging needs up to a year of planning. Campsite and lodging competition is fierce. Shoulder seasons, spring, autumns are fantastic. September, October, crowds thin, weather still great. Better hiking temps and fall colors. Late spring after snow melt is glorious. Enjoy peace and solitude in parks. Try less famous but beautiful spots. Instead of Zion, consider Capitol Reef, Canyonlands. Instead of the most popular Caribbean islands, try smaller, less trafficked gems. Be flexible with destination and with dates. Avoid major holiday weeks to save money, avoid stress, and have a more rewarding trip. Be strategic and find your slice of paradise without the crowds. Here's a quick travel hack that can save you money on flights. In the US, you can cancel most flights within 24 hours of booking for a full refund. Book a flight, then keep searching for a better deal during that window. If you find a cheaper or better flight, book it and cancel the first one. No fees, no penalty. Use this 24-hour rule to get the best price every time you fly. Throughout our journey, we've talked a lot about the magic of the shoulder seasons, those wonderful weeks in spring and autumn that offer a perfect blend of good weather and fewer crowds. This concept is also your best friend when it comes to finding affordable flights. Airlines use incredibly sophisticated computer systems to set their prices, and it all comes down to supply and demand. During peak summer or holiday periods, demand is sky high, so they can charge a premium. But during the shoulder season, they have more empty seats to fill, and that's when you can find the real bargains if you know where to look. Think of the calendar as having cliffs, not gentle slopes. The price for a flight to Europe on May 15th might be hundreds of dollars cheaper than a flight on June 1st. The official start of the high season acts like a switch is flipped, and prices jump dramatically. Your goal is to fly just before that switch. By shifting your vacation by just 1 week or 2 weeks, you can often save 30% or more on your airfare. The same is true at the end of the season. A flight in early September can be far more affordable than one in late August, even though the weather is often just as beautiful. This strategy requires a bit of flexibility. If you can avoid being locked into exact dates, use flight search tools that allow you to view prices across a whole month. This will give you a visual representation of when the prices drop. You might discover that flying on a Tuesday in October is half the price of flying on a Saturday in September. Being flexible with your departure days and return days is another key element. Midweek flights are almost always cheaper than flying on a Friday or Sunday. As airlines know, that's when most people want to travel for a week-long vacation. Another great hack is to look at flying into a different nearby airport. For example, if you're planning a trip to the Amalfi Coast in Italy, flights directly into Naples might be expensive, but you might find a fantastic deal by flying into Rome instead. From there, you can take an affordable and scenic high-speed train down to Naples. This fly and ride approach can unlock huge savings, especially during popular travel times. Always check the airports surrounding your primary destination. A little extra ground travel can often lead to big savings in the air, especially in a continent like Europe with its excellent train network. We have covered a massive amount of information today, so let's take a moment to recap. Think of this as your quick reference guide to perfect travel planning. For Europe, spring, April, and May is golden. For Europe, autumn, September, and October is golden. Pleasant weather, smaller crowds, lower prices. Summer gives guaranteed sun, but comes with crowds and high costs. Winter offers festive magic and deep discounts for those who don't mind the cold. When we turn to Asia, it's all about regional climates. Southeast Asia, think Thailand and Vietnam. Dry season, November to March is best for sunny beach days. East Asia, spring brings cherry blossoms. East Asia, autumn brings fall foliage and comfortable temperatures. South Asia, India's plains and palaces are best in the cool, dry winter, October to March. Plan Himalayan treks in spring and autumn for clear sky mountain views. Heading to the southern hemisphere, the rules flip. Australia, southern cities like Sydney and Melbourne, spring, September to November is ideal. Australia, southern cities, autumn, March to May is also ideal. For the tropical north and the red center, go in the dry season, May to October. New Zealand follows southern Australia. Summer, December to February is beautiful but busy. New Zealand, spring, and autumn are ideal for adventure without the crowds. Finally, for the Americas, a little knowledge goes a long way. In South America, aim for the dry season, April to October in the Andes. Peru, Andes in dry season. Bolivia, Andes and Altiplano in dry season. For vibrant cities like Buenos Aires and Rio, shoulder seasons give pleasant weather without peak heat. For the USA and the Caribbean, the biggest factor is avoiding hurricane season, June to November, peaking August to October. Aim for spring trips to Florida. Aim for spring trips to the Caribbean islands, but watch spring break crowds in March. Keeping these simple rules in mind will make you a much smarter and more prepared traveler. The world is a magnificent, sprawling, and endlessly fascinating place. Every corner holds a new adventure, a different flavor, a unique story waiting to be discovered. Planning a trip to see it all can sometimes feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. As we've seen today, a little bit of knowledge about weather patterns and tourist seasons can completely transform your experience. It can be the difference between a stressful, crowded vacation and a relaxed, memorable journey where everything just seems to fall perfectly into place. It's about traveling smarter, not harder. The goal is not to find one perfect time to travel because that single time doesn't exist. Instead, the goal is to find the perfect time for you and for the trip you are dreaming of. Do you want to join the party at Carnival in Rio? Then you brave the summer heat. Do you dream of seeing the Taj Mahal without a massive crowd? You get up for sunrise in the cool winter season. Every season offers its own unique gifts and its own challenges. By understanding them, you can make informed choices that align with your budget, your interests, and your personal travel style. I hope this guide has empowered you and made you feel more confident as you plan your next getaway. Use these tips as your starting point. Use them to open up new possibilities. Consider visiting a familiar place at a new time of year. Or finally, book that trip to a destination you thought was out of reach. Remember to be flexible. Do your research for your specific destination. And always embrace the spirit of adventure. Sometimes even the most perfectly planned trips have unexpected moments, and often those become the best stories. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey around the world. I truly love sharing these travel secrets with you. Now I want to hear from you again. After hearing all of this, has your favorite time to travel changed? Or have you discovered a new destination you're excited to visit during its shoulder season? Let me know in the comments below. Your next great adventure is out there waiting for you, and now you have the keys to unlock it at the perfect time. Happy travel.